Are we ready?
Yeah, I think we are live on YouTube.
Okay. Let's see. Are we live?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. So namaste. Hello everyone from India, from Romania, from all over the world. And dear Dr. Gaurang, thank you very much for accepting my invite for this talk. It is a great honor for me because I consider you my mentor in the last 4 years. I met you first time in January 2017 online when I attended my first repertory course at the Other Song Academy Mumbai. I remember that I was so impressed by your encyclopedical knowledge about different repertories. I learned and I am learning also everything about repertory and repertorization from you. In fact, I don't even know other homeopath who teaches this art of repertorization with so much dedication and generosity like you do. So from you, I understand how important it is to choose the solid symptoms, to find the peculiarity of the case, and to choose the right repertory according to the case. Now I will tell all this in Romanian. Îi mulțumesc domnului dr. Gaurang că a acceptat invitația mea pentru această discuție. Este o mare onoare pentru mine pentru că îl consider mentorul meu din ultimii 4 ani. L-am întâlnit prima dată online în ianuarie 2017, când am urmat primul curs de repertorizare cu el la Academia de Homeopatie Avansată The Other Song Academy Mumbai. Îmi amintesc că am fost profund impresionată de cunoștințele sale enciclopedice în materia repertorizării. De la el am învățat și învăț în continuare arta repertorizării. De la el am învățat cât este de important să alegem un simptom solid pentru repertorizare, un simptom rar, specific și mai ales cum să alegem repertoriul potrivit cazului. So today I will ask a few questions from Dr. Gaurang Gaikwad, a healer and a teacher, a world-famous homeopath, author of numerous books, international speaker, one of the youngest homeopaths from India invited in different parts of the world, like Europe, Brazil, to teach classical homeopathy and repertory. He is the master of the repertory. His approach is a blend of classical homeopathy and advanced kingdom approach. Azi voi întreba una alta de la domnul dr. Gaurang Gaikwad, medic și mentor, homeopat cu renume mondială, autor a numeroase cărți, speaker internațional, cel mai tânăr homeopat din India, invitat în diferite părți ale lumii, pentru a preda homeopatie clasică și repertorizare. Here I would like to quote one of my favorite writer, Thorvald Detlefsen, who had written, "Healing is always a priestly act that is beyond the purely material. Healing can therefore only be learned within certain limits. The real healer receives priestly legitimacy from nature. The real healer is initiated. There are always few who know the real, and these are the few who really change the world." So I appreciate so much that you always are writing with so much gratitude about your mentors, teachers, who inspired and taught you, who contributed in your formation as a homeopath. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, your masters, and about what you have learned from them? What do you consider that are the most important qualities of a homeopath? Apreciez faptul că doctorul Gaurang scrie întotdeauna cu foarte mare respect și gratitudine despre mentorii săi, despre cei care l-au inspirat și au contribuit la formarea sa ca și homeopat. L-am rugat să ne povestească un pic despre el, despre ce a învățat de la mentorii săi. Cum consideră care sunt cele mai importante calități ale unui homeopat? So, please.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for this double translation that you're doing, and we can see all your efforts. And thank you. A lot of people have joined us right now.
Yes.
So, yes. Guess what? So you have said so many things that I don't know. I don't have too many words to tell much, but I hope that I'm a little bit of what you said actually. But yeah, one of the reasons that whatever I'm able to do in whatever ways, mainly because of my mentors and my teachers who have played a very important role in my life, actually. All of them, right from Dr. Sankaran, Dr. Sarkar, Dr. Vijay Vaishnav, many doctors there is a bit, who have made a huge impact in my life.
Deci domnul doctor Gaurang ne spune că într-adevăr este foarte recunoscător mentorilor săi, cum ar fi domnul doctor Rajan Shankaran, doctor Sunil Sarkar și domnul doctor Vijay Vaishnav, căruia este profund recunoscător pentru ceea ce a devenit el azi. Okay, so in February this year, thanks to your generous invitation, I had the chance to visit your clinic in Mumbai and to assist you a few days in your consultation. I was very impressed by the numerous, various, and very deep pathological cases which you are treating there with your team. I remember a case of a 34 years old young man with pulmonary hypertension and ascites, where you find a remedy in artistic way, where I learned the new single remedy rubric from you. Abdomen dropsy, ascites, respiration with difficult asphyxia threatening. We let the homeopaths to find the remedy.
Yes.
And now, deci în februarie anul acesta, mulțumită generozității lui, am avut șansa să vizitez clinica doctorului Gaurang din Mumbai și să-l asist câteva zile în timp ce consulta. Am fost foarte impresionată de cazurile foarte numeroase, variate, cu patologii foarte grave, pe care domnul doctor Gaurang tratează împreună cu echipa lui. Îmi amintesc de un pacient de 34 de ani cu hipertensiune pulmonară și ascită, unde a repertorizat simptomele pacientului în mod artistic, caracteristic lui, și cu ocazia aceea am învățat o rubrică cu un singur remediu de la el. Este rubrica pe care v-am spus mai înainte. Iar de la domnul doctor Iaș, asistentul lui, știu că pacientul a evoluat favorabil. Și acum o să-l întreb pe domnul doctor Gaurang despre ce fel de patologie tratează el cel mai frecvent. So from Dr. Yash, I know that the evolution of the patient was very good. And now I would like to ask you that, would you please tell a little bit about what kind of pathology you are dealing with and explain for people who are not homeopaths why and how homeopathy can help even in this kind of deep pathological cases, please.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. So yeah, it was a pleasure to have you and few more homeopaths in the clinic during February. And yes, we are trying to help in India different types of pathologies who come to see us. And one particular case that you are talking about, it was a very challenging case. It was a case of pulmonary hypertension causing ascites, who improved beautifully on homeopathy. And there are some very beautiful results in homeopathy. One of the main reasons is because homeopathy acts at a much deeper level. And not to say that modern medicine doesn't have a strong role. Modern medicine has its own role in today's time, but homeopathy also has its own important role in medicine, and we are trying to do that in Mumbai here with our patients.
Da, deci domnul doctor spune că, într-adevăr, cazul despre care v-am povestit a evoluat foarte frumos sub tratament și că, într-adevăr, tratează patologii foarte profunde, unde homeopatia ajută foarte mult pentru că acționează la nivel profund. Okay.
And just to add, the idea of homeopathy is where we are giving the remedy based on the very deep patterns at physical and mental levels, and understanding these deep patterns by taking deep case taking, understanding the person's basic nature, temperament, his exciting factor, how he has reacted in different situations, his past history, his family history, his physical makeup, physical state. Understanding all of this and giving a remedy based on all of this is what we do in homeopathy.
Da, deci explicația de ce remediile homeopatii acționează și în patologiile acestea foarte variate este că remediul homeopat este ales pe baza a simptomelor și de la nivel mental-emoțional, precum se iau în considerare factorii cauzatori, istoricul pacientului, condițiile de viață, deci foarte multe foarte mulți factori în afara simptomelor fizice.
Yeah.
So, besides your very busy practice, I admire you for the huge generosity with which you share your knowledges through your books and also through the numerous webinars you hold in the Homeopathic Hub. So, during the lockdown, you with your friends realized an unparalleled performance, a kind of marathon of Materia Medica series.
Yeah.
Followed by the nosodes and sarcodes series, rare remedy series, and hormonal disorder series. In this way, you kept teaching, inspiring, motivating many homeopaths from the whole world, transforming in this way that period in a continuing medical education. Like John Quincy Adams had written, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. So you and your colleagues, I think that really you became a kind of leader of the homeopaths from all around the world. And now first I would like to ask you about your books, and then we come back up to this idea. So you wrote many books, and maybe the two most important or your last books are the Decoding Mental Rubrics and the Materia Medica of Sarcodes and Nosodes. Your book, Decoding Mental Rubrics, is a masterpiece where you are explaining so beautifully detailed in more than 1,000 mental rubrics. I would like to ask you if could you please tell us what was the motivation which determined you to write this book, and why is this important to understand correctly the meaning of the mental rubrics? First, I will tell this in Romanian, and after that, I'll let you to answer. Okay? Okay. So, deci, despre domnul doctor Gaurang am spus că în afară de praxisul lui foarte aglomerat, îl admir și pentru generozitatea lui cu care împarte tot ce știe cu toată lumea prin intermediul cărților scrise de el și a numeroaselor webinarii ținute în cadrul Homeopathic Hub. În perioada carantinei au reușit o performanță de neegalat prin maratonul de Materia Medica Series, urmat de Nosodes and Sarcodes Series, seria despre remediile rare și seria despre remediile hormonale. El continuă să învețe, să inspire și să motiveze foarte mulți homeopați din întreaga lume, transformând această perioadă de carantină într-o educație medicală continuă pentru homeopați. Dar acum o să-l întreb despre cărțile lui pe care le-a scris, de fapt numeroase cărți, iar ultimele două, cum ar fi cartea Decoding Mental Rubrics, este o capodoperă, în care doctorul Gaurang explică frumos și detaliat peste 1000 de rubrici mentale. Îl întreb care a fost motivația care l-a determinat să scrie această carte și de ce este atât de important să înțelegem corect sensul unei rubrici mentale. So, please.
Elizabeth. So we started this channel, Homeopathic Hub, thanks to Pratik Jain actually, and I hope he will connect to us at some point and share about his idea behind Homeopathic Hub. But me, him, another colleague Alpesh and Shrikant, we started this, and Pratik is the main person who's handling everything here. So the idea was to share as much of knowledge as much as possible on YouTube and on social media, because growing up we realized that to gain knowledge is not so easy in homeopathy, and I wanted to share whatever I learned on as a kind of a free education for everyone. That was my idea, and that's why I kept on putting up a lot of videos. And then once the lockdown happened after a month, we discussed and we thought of having this Materia Medica series, which was very popular actually, and we didn't realize how popular it was till when it stopped and people started writing to us that, please don't stop and start it again. And now we are doing it every week, in fact every Thursday. So So it feels good that at some level we are able to make a difference. Leader is too big a word, but yeah, even if you can contribute a little bit in people's life, in people's evolution, our work
Okay,
is done.
now I try to translate, okay? Deci domnul doctor spune că, într-adevăr, cu prietenii lui au pornit această pagină sau activitate în cadrul Homeopathic Hub-ului, unde ei împart cu toată lumea din cunoștințele lor și, într-adevăr, perioada de carantină a fost una de importanță absolut fantastică, pentru că au reușit să ne învețe prin webinarii zilnic. Okay, I think you can continue. I summarized.
Yeah, and about the books, yes, books. When I was a student, I wanted to study a lot about repertory and materia medica. There are many books written on materia medica, but I couldn't find a very good book on repertory where all rubrics have been explained in detail. And I always thought if you can't find a good book in a subject to read, you should write that book. And so I thought that maybe I could attempt to do something like that, and that's where I started writing extensively in last 10 years about rubrics. And at some point I realized that maybe I can publish this book now, and I published it. And I still believe that many people don't know about this book, Decoding Mental Rubrics. But it has a lot of ideas. If someone really reads it through and through, there are some good ideas, and you have written a review on it, and I thank you for that. And I hope that most of our people can read that review at some point.
Yes, it is really a wonderful book. Oh yes, I have to translate. Excuse me. Deci domnul doctor spune că ideea de a scrie această carte, Decoding Mental Rubrics, i-a venit de acolo că, într-adevăr, există foarte multe cărți și repertorii, dar nicăieri nu a găsit adunate într-o singură carte toată informația. Și atunci i-a venit ideea că dacă el n-a găsit asta nici într-o carte, atunci ce ar fi să scrie el o carte despre asta. Și în felul acesta a reușit în 10 ani să adune foarte multe informații despre rubricile mentale și până la urmă a scris o carte despre toate acestea. O carte despre care eu am scris de altfel un review. Ok.
Yeah.
So, then I would like to ask you about your other book, The Materia Medica of Nosots and Sarcodes, which is also a must-have for all the homeopaths, where you exhaustively explain all the sarcodes and nosots with so many informations from different source books like Materia Medica's repertory and provings. What would you like to emphasize regarding this book, or which would be your advices for homeopaths about the use of sarcodes and nosots? Acum îl întreb despre cealaltă carte a sa, Materia Medica of Nosots and Sarcodes, care de asemenea este o carte obligatoriu de citit de orice homeopat, cu foarte multe informații din diferite materia medica, repertorii și proving-uri. Și îl întreb ce ar dori să sublinieze în legătură cu această carte și care ar fi sfaturile dumnealui pentru homeopați în ce privește utilizarea sarcodelor și a nozodelor. Ok.
So, yeah, this book is also quite special. Although it took much shorter time to write this book, Nosodes and Sarcodes, but I feel that in many of my cases I was not seeing such good results, and that's when I thought that maybe I should use Nosodes more often and Sarcodes. And while studying it, I realized again there is not a clear literature at one place of Nosode and Sarcode, and it's actually a little bit of a collection of different authors together. This book, more than only my literature. So it's actually a collection of literatures, Nosode and Sarcode books, and I believe that in future time this book will be very useful when someone reads it through and through. And you have written a review for that also.
Yes, yes, and I really find very important to have these books all the time near you, like I have here,
Okay.
and both the books. And it is very important to have here and to can open when we need it. because this is something which we need maybe daily or um,
And I also see very other very good books like Just You See, Just You Think, Sankar and
yes,
Sir.
yes,
So yeah, all these books are important. But just to add, these books, all of these books will not be so useful if you don't read basic books. This is for the students who are watching this. That the basic book still remains Kent, Nash, N.M. Chaudhary, Tyler, Dunham, Patak. So without this, my books will not be of much use. So if you read this and then you read my books, it will be of much bigger importance.
yes. Now I try to summarize in Romanian. Deci domnul doctor spune că ideea de a scrie cea de-a doua carte a venit de acolo că în unele cazuri nu a văzut o evoluție destul de favorabilă și atunci a fost nevoit să folosească nozode și sarcode, dar din nou literatura nu a fost ușor de găsit legate de acest subiect și atunci a venit ideea că ce ar fi să adune informațiile într-o singură carte. Deci, practic, în această carte, el adună informațiile din foarte multe alte cărți de sursă, cum ar fi materia medică, repertorii, proving-uri. Iar despre cărțile lui discutasem înainte că, într-adevăr, sunt foarte valoroase, sunt niște cărți pe care e bine să le avem cu noi tot timpul, în cazul în care avem nevoie să putem deschide. Și mai spunea domnul dr. Gaurang că este bine ca prima dată să citim cărțile de bază și abia după aceea să citim cărțile lui. Ca de obicei, el este foarte de o smerenie absolut fantastică. You are very humble, as always. Okay, so now I would like to so we experience now this challenging time created by this COVID, and it reminds me this quote from Tatios that it says that true friend this time opens the eyes, brings purification, made the intention become act. The thoughts became creations. He condemns the passions, cremates the tempers. He tames the beast. Encourages the mimosa. It smashes the cockroaches of the soul, scraping of the limestone deposit of the heart. Who have eyes can see and hear the message. I call this variability, the power that pushes everyone forward. So we are experiencing now this variability, and I would like to ask you, how do you experience this variability, these changing times, and how do you feel that what has this period of COVID taught us until now? Now I translate in Romanian and I let you. Ok. So, trăim niște vremuri provocatoare create de situația cu COVID. Acest lucru îmi amintește de acest citat de Tatios. Adevărat prieten este timpul, deschide ochii, aduce purificare. Face ca intenția să devină act, gândurile să devină creații. Condamnă patimile, incinerează temperamentele. Îmblânzește fiara, încurajează mimoza. Zdrobește gândacii sufletului, răzuind depunerile de calcar ale inimii. Care are ochi poate vedea și auzi mesajul. Eu numesc aceasta variabilitate, puterea care îi împinge pe toți înainte. Și acum l-am întrebat pe domnul doctor cum experimentează el această perioadă de tranziție, de variabilitate și ce crede, ce anume ne-a învățat această perioadă de COVID până acum. So.
So yeah, these are challenging times. These are challenging times. There is always so much to learn, Elizabeth, because every obstacle there is a big learning opportunity, and when it happens, you are always in a very difficult situation. You feel why is this happening, but everything is trying to teach you something. It just shows the idea of minimalism, where even with a very minimalistic things in life, you can still live a very happy and joyful life. That's the first thing that you can learn. And also because our talk is more about homeopathy, it also shows a lot of importance of homeopathy and principles of homeopathy, and how we can live our life in a very holistic way. Very basic things are needed for having a very joyful life. Also, here we are treating some cases with homeopathy, and not to take away the fact that even modern medicine has a huge role in these times also, especially the later stages, but especially in the early stages and the mild stages, homeopathy can really help beautifully, and even in the later stages. And we are many homeopaths in India, and including me, we are trying to do our best to help these cases.
Da, deci domnul doctor spune că această perioadă ne învață multe, printre care, de exemplu, ideea minimalismului, deci că putem trăi cu un minimum necesar, iar pe de altă parte accentuează rolul homeopatiei, pentru că dânsul tratează foarte mulți pacienți cu COVID. În fazele incipiente și medii ale patologiei, homeopatia are un rol foarte important, chiar și în fazele avansate, iar pe de altă parte, colaborarea între medicina clasică și între homeopatie este de asemenea foarte importantă. În fazele foarte avansate, într-adevăr, medicina tradițională are un rol mai accentuat. So, this situation created by the pandemic brings to the surface a lot of anxiety, worry, depressed mood, insecurities in the majority of the people. For many of them, to regain balance and peace of the soul can be a challenge. We as homeopaths can help them in this direction. But we are also human beings, which means that we also can experience from time to time different emotions, thoughts. As Carl Jung had written, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. So may I ask you, which method do you use to help you to deal with your own darkness? What would you recommend for people? Deci, situația aceasta creată de pandemie a adus la suprafață multă anxietate, îngrijorare, stări depresive, nesiguranță în majoritatea oamenilor. Pentru multă lume, reechilibrarea și recâștigarea stării de pace este o provocare. Noi, homeopații, îi putem ajuta pe ei în această privință. Dar și noi suntem oameni, ceea ce înseamnă că și noi putem experimenta gânduri și emoții negative. După cum a scris Carl Jung, cunoașterea propriului întuneric este cea mai bună metodă pentru a face față întunericului altor oameni. Îl întreb acum pe domnul doctor despre ce metode folosește în acest scop și ce metodă ar recomanda altora în general.
So yeah, everyone has their own darkness. Everyone has their own patterns, and more homeopaths, more medical or healers who have their own darkness. But I think that it's important to take things in our stride. It's important to accept things the way they are. More importantly, I believe that your purpose and the reason why you are on this planet, and to align yourself with your purpose, will help heal a lot of darkness. So even in the darkest times of my life, just aligning myself with what is my purpose at this time on this planet helps heal a lot of my darker areas in my life. That's how I help. And there are many minor things that you can do. Sometimes just a walk in nature helps you. Sometimes just certain exercises help you. Certain time just meeting a good friend helps you. So there are many things that one can do. Music can help you a lot as well. And finally, homeopathy can help you.
Yes. So I will translate. Deci domnul doctor spune că ceea ce crede că este cel mai important este să te aliniezi să te aliniezi cu scopul vieții tale. Asta este cel mai important lucru și apoi sunt și alte metode, să zicem, minore care poate să ajute, cum ar fi o plimbare, să te întâlnești cu prieteni, să asculți o muzică bună. Deci sunt multe alte metode similare. Can I ask you, because I really had a patient, now after the lockdown, who came to me because they presented panic attacks and depression or things like that because of all this COVID situation. How is the situation in Mumbai? Have you patients not with COVID, but with these psychological consequences of the COVID.
Yeah, so the situation is the same in Mumbai as in everywhere. But very often, often assurance, reassurance, and explaining patients their pattern. Very often, certain cases you don't need to give homeopathic medicine. You need to just counsel them. You need to just explain them their own patterns, where it is coming from, and it can be quite healing. So very often, in some cases, you have to just assure them, explain them their pattern, where it's coming from, what is at a deeper level, and what's happening. So that's what I often do. In some cases, you have to give homeopathic medicine depending on that. The same approach, individualism.
Deci, domnul doctor spune că, într-adevăr, și la ei se întâlnește această problemă. Deci, eu, de exemplu, am avut pacienți care acum, după terminarea carantinei, au venit la mine pur și simplu din aceste motive psihologice, că au trăit foarte greu perioada carantinei și în prezent au o stare de anxietate continuă din cauza situației create de pandemie. Iar domnul dr. Gaurang spune că, într-adevăr, e foarte important și să consiliem pe pacienții noștri, să explicăm modelul după care reacționează fiecare și, sigur, în caz de nevoie, să-i dăm chiar și remedii homeopate. Okay, so now should I ask first Dr. Pratik, or should we answer first the questions from Dr. Kasturi?
We can answer first with Kasturi, and then let's let Dr. Pratik talk a little bit about his
Okay, I like it. So the questions from Dr. Kasturi, we've got 3 questions. The first was, how do we define success?
How do we define success? So it will be very different for different people. But for me, there are different levels of success, but success would be to reach the highest potential of your life, highest potential of your own version, or being the best version of you at different levels, at your professional level, at your personal level, at a relationship level, at your health level, at financial level, being the best version of you. But at a deeper level, real success is when you are able to touch people's lives. So the real successful people are people who are able to touch people's life in some way or the other.
Deci domnul doctor spune că succesul poate fi înțeles pe mai multe nivele și pentru fiecare poate însemna altceva, dar totuși la un nivel profund este dacă reușești să atingi viețile oamenilor și să devii cea mai bună versiune a ta. Can I answer this question too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so yes, I agree what you have said, that of course there are different levels and different domain how we can understand success, but professionally I would like to say that for me the biggest success is when thanks to my treatment the person feels better, or his or her life get better. And I would like here just to bring awareness about the potential of the homeopathy, to say very short a case of mine which I got last year. A 30-year-old woman came to me. She was pregnant in 4 weeks.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Just a sec. So can we join from the second link? I don't want it to interrupt in between, so
Okay.
we'll join from the second link. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Your audio, Elizabeth, your audio.
Okay,
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay. So I had this case of a young woman, 30 years old, and she was diagnosed with depression and panic attacks, and she was admitted in the psychiatric hospital for a few months, like 7 months. And because in moments she got pregnant, and they wanted to keep the child. So in that moment, the psychiatrist advised to interrupt the psychiatric treatment because it was dangerous for the pregnancy. And in that moment, she came to me. And in less than 2 months, until uh, homeopathic treatment, she improved 100%. So she can interrupted also the homeopathic treatment. And in April, she gave birth to a healthy child. And in June, I've got the photos from her that she and the child are very good. So for me, this is the success. Or
Beautiful.
the biggest success professionally. But I'm sure that you have even more cases like this.
No, no, but this is beautiful. This is what is real success, to see a joy in a mother's eyes for her baby. Yeah.
Yes,
Nothing bigger than this. This is what I meant by touching people's life.
yes, of course. And here I find a very beautiful quote from Pele, who was the football player.
Yeah, yeah,
Pele. He said that success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing.
yeah.
So yes, this I find very important, to love what we are doing. The second question from Kasturi was that how do you find the true purpose of your life?
Kasturi is asking all very, very deep questions.
Yeah, this is
So,
beautiful.
yeah, deep purpose of life. I will be very honest with
True
participants
purpose.
here. I'm not very um, I really don't know many of these questions answer, because I'm not some very great philosophical guru or something like that. I'm a very simple person. Um, I believe for me, it's it's trying to live life in a fullest level, trying to explore life and understand and explore life and different areas of life, and feel it and experience it. And when I experience it, and I realize where in what way I can contribute at different levels in life. We only talk about professional purpose, but it can be purpose at different domains of one's life. Sometimes one's purpose can just be being there for someone throughout and making a difference for that person. Professionally, it can be different as well. So it can be different for different person, but purpose is something that you have to find within you. There will be a there'll be a calling within you. There'll be a voice within you telling you that do this, do this. This is what it is. You will not have to think twice.
Yeah, I agree. So I should translate first. Deci domnul doctor spune că nu se consideră un om care se gândește foarte profund filozofic, dar după părerea lui, deci scopul vieții, odată că este diferit pentru diferite persoane, iar în al doilea rând este ceva ce trebuie să găsești profund în tine, ceva ce simți, ceva la care nu trebuie să te gândești de două ori. Yes, now I would like to answer too on this question. So I agree with you that the true purpose it's different for different individuals, and it can be in different area of the life. I mean, it does not mean that it is necessary to be in the professional area. It can be in the family relationships, or it can be in different areas. But which is very important that first, exactly as you said, to listen to your intuition. Yes, and but if if we speak about how to understand this, like which kind of profession to choose or things like that, that it is very important to find that activity which you can do with passion, dedication, which never make you tired or bored, or in which you want to become all the time better and better. And finally, which brings joy for you. And here I find also a very beautiful quote, which is said that to build a life you don't need vacation from.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the most important. You can do with dedication, passion, and yeah, not to be tired never.
For example, I often say to my students that you don't have to choose homeopathy. Homeopathy will choose you to become one of it.
Corect, corect. Uh, Deci, da, părerea mea deci despre care ar fi scopul vieții este să găsești acea activitate pe care poți să faci cu pasiune, cu dedicare, de la care niciodată nu te vei simți obosit sau plictisit, în care dorești să devii din ce în ce mai bun și care îți aduce multă bucurie. Și am citat acest lucru de la Rob Hill, care spune că să-ți construiești o viață din care nu vrei niciodată să iei vacanță sau concediu. And the third question was that what are some of the biggest challenges one faces being a homeopath?
Biggest challenges is at a daily level. Every day is a challenge. I don't look at it as a biggest challenge as homeopathy, but every day is a big challenge if you see to it, and every case is a challenge if you go to see to it. The biggest challenge, although, or I would put it in a little different way, most important thing for us is to make people aware about homeopathy and the results of homeopathy, and the best way to do it is by helping patients. Your results, like the case you said, the one case that you saw that helped in that mother, that itself will do the job of making people aware about homeopathy. Now for that child, she will always come to you. You will see that when the child grows up. So this is what it is. The challenge is to help patients, and we are dealing with sometimes very difficult cases, difficult pathologies. And here I would like to tell that sometimes it's not very easy to help patients. Also, it can drain you a lot. So you have to constantly work on yourself. You have to constantly talk to yourself and see where it's going. But more or less, I believe that with a very pure intention, um, we can win.
Da, deci întrebarea a fost că ce este cea mai mare provocare pe care poate întâlni un homeopat, și domnul doctor a răspuns că aceste provocări sunt zilnice în viața unui homeopat. Putem întâlni zilnic cazuri care pot să ne ridice probleme, dar important este să conștientizăm potențialul homeopatiei și în acest sens, într-adevăr, cazurile rezolvate cu succes sunt cele mai importante pentru a face pe oameni să înțeleagă și să creadă în potențialul homeopatiei. Yes, I agree totally. I was thinking also like this, that the biggest challenges for us as homeopaths, there are in two directions. First is to be perseverant during the bad time, because you know we are living in a polarity. So good days are followed always by bad days, or vice versa. So when we have a bad period of time, it is very important to have faith and to know that no matter how big are our difficulties, we have to keep in mind, and especially to feel in our heart, that good days are coming, and this can help us. But on the other side, as you said, the other challenges are when you have a case, for example, which does not improve, and here it is important to be brave enough to recognize our mistake, or to retake the case, or to study the case, and finally maybe to ask for help from a colleague, or maybe from a mentor like you. So, yes. Deci spuneam că din punctul meu de vedere, într-adevăr, ceea ce a spus domnul doctor, sunt total de acord cu el. că în cazul în care avem un caz dificil sau un caz care nu evoluează, atunci trebuie să fim suficient de curajoși să ne recunoaștem greșelile sau să reluăm cazul și în final, dacă tot nu reușim, atunci să cerem ajutor de la un alt coleg sau ajutorul unui mentor. Iar cea de-a doua provocare este de a fi perseverenți și în perioadele noastre mai puțin bune. Trebuie să știm că noi trăim într-o polaritate, ceea ce înseamnă că întotdeauna zilele proaste sunt urmate de zile bune sau perioadele proaste de perioade bune. Deci este important să ne păstrăm credința și să ținem tot timpul în minte și mai ales în inima noastră să simțim acest lucru că orice perioadă proastă sau rea are un sfârșit și întotdeauna va fi urmat de perioadă bună. Deci de a fi optimist. Ok. So now I would like Dr. Pratik to speak.
So just before we go to Pratik, I want to
Yes.
thank you, Elizabeth, because I would like now Pratik to speak totally.
Okay.
I want to say that this is really tough what you've done. I'm seeing you first time translating a double. I know it is a very difficult job, but it's absolute pleasure to join you today and share some ideas and some thoughts about homeopathy and life and things like that. And I hope that at some point we can do it again, maybe some other topic. And it's an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And your points were very, very interesting as well. I had a
Welcome.
very good time learning from them.
Welcome. Actually, it's a big pleasure for me. And yes, I was a little bit afraid, how I will manage this, but I find that it was not at all so difficult as I was thinking. So no problem. I am very glad that we did this.
So just before you start with Pratik, Pratik is the main person who has started Homeopathic Hub, and he has a whole plan of ideas about how to take Homeopathic Hub to the next level. His idea with the he has started his own pharmacy, the book center, the education center. It would be interesting to know his whole plan and how he's
Yes.
doing it. Yeah.
In
So I'm
fact,
going to just
yes, please.
so
Please.
I would let him talk now, and I'll put off my screen so that he will be able to share his ideas. Okay.
Thank you very much for your time
Thank
and
you.
your benevolence, and it was a big pleasure for me. Thank you.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine.
Okay. So, Dr. Pratik, I prepared the question, but we put you a question, but please, you can answer as much as you want, okay?
Sure,
Not
sure.
necessary just on my question.
No issues.
So, my question was that would you please tell a little bit about the Homeopathic Hub? I call this a Wonder Education website, which is followed by more than 10,000 people worldwide, which I think make you the biggest educational platform. And during the lockdown, you had delivered this unparalleled performance by holding daily webinars on so many interesting topics, inviting fantastic homeopaths from all across India, sharing generously all your knowledges into every corner of the world. So, what is the idea, or maybe what is that big love behind which motivate you in doing this mission?
Okay. So basically, homeopathic hub, it's a kind of a medium, we can say, to help people. So idea behind homeopathic hub, I'll tell you how it started. So I think after I passed out my BHMS education of homeopathy, then I got associated with all my teachers from whom I learned, Dr. Sankaran, Dr. Gaurang, Dr. Sarkar, and all. And then later on, I got this opportunity to travel in different parts of India, to travel to different colleges of homeopathy and see how is the education there in different parts of India. And to my surprise, uh, I got to know that in many parts people, they don't get the type of education, what the type of homeopathy, what all we get to learn from all these great masters, uh, they are not able to learn from all those teachers. And somewhere they don't have all these different kind of tools. So this led me to thinking what we can do to help people, all the homeopaths. And then I came across that majority of homeopaths, be it a student or a beginner or a practitioner, they have this uh, uh, query about basic tools of homeopathy, how to get them, like books, like software, like medicines, all those
Yeah.
things, learning all those different things. So I thought, why not try to make something with the help of which we can try at least to help all those different people, because if you have the right tool with you, I think it will, you will be able to give a better result. So with this idea, uh, it's a thought of starting something like this, building a platform from which we can try and help different people. So that is something about the homeopathic art.
It is so beautiful what you are doing there. So please, if you want to speak more about, or what would you like to communicate
So
to the
it's
people?
no, so it's basically a teamwork. Entire thing is, obviously I came up with the idea, I started something, but it's entirely a teamwork, and especially all of my dear friends, Dr. Gaurang, Dr. Alpesh, Dr. Srikant, Dr. Afreen, all those my close colleagues, they have helped me a lot to in this particular venture. And with this particular thing, we are continuously trying to do different activities from which we can help different homeopaths. So that's how we did a lot of webinars. So when this COVID thing started, we waited for a few days, and then we thought, how do we utilize this time to help different homeopaths across India, across the world. And then we came up with the idea of this series, and then we started
And it was
series.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. In fact, I think that for us homeopaths, it was like a blessing, you know, because I have learned so much from you, from your webinars, and this period was so beautiful. I don't know, in each and every day, I was waiting for your webinar. Like
No,
it was so
it's
beautiful.
a mutual thing. Like we share something, we also get to learn something. So we came to know different homeopaths from different parts of the world. Even in India,
Yes.
from different parts of India, we came across all those homeopaths, and it feels good when they learn something. They share it with us, and it feels great that we are helping in a way to homeopaths. I think that.
Yes, this was the secondary benefit that we, the homeopaths from all over the world, we connected. And this is something which I find also fantastic. Um, so, first, this idea to share knowledge, but the second is to be connected with people from different parts of the world.
Yeah, so basically in homeopathy, one of the main thing in today's time which is required or necessary is unity. It's not only in a particular
Yes,
country but across the entire globe. We all as a
correct.
homeopath, we have to be united so that we can take homeopathy to another level. So yeah.
Correct. I am more than agree with you. And I admire you a lot because of what you are doing. And tell me, you said that you have this pharmacy also there. Um, for example, for me, as a homeopath from Europe, is it possible to send here also homeopathic remedies,
Yes.
or is it possible? Or
Yeah, I think it is, we have been sending to certain parts of world, so I think definitely it is possible to send medicines across
Mhm.
Europe and other parts of world. We can send
Because
medicines.
sometimes it can happen that in Romania there are no those remedies which we would need it, and it is good to know that, for example, we can ask you, or
Definitely.
we can
So,
write to you.
yeah, so it depends. See, it has two countries are involved. So basically, it depends on the both the countries. So suppose if I can send from India, it also depends whether in Romania if you can import the medicines, or because the
Mhm.
customs are involved in all
Okay.
different countries. So that
Mhm.
basically depends from countries to country. But
Mhm.
we can definitely find out, and if someone needs any medicine and if we are able to help them, definitely we would like to help.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. And the other issues, you said the webinars, the books, also. Uh, people can uh, follow you on the Homeopathic Hub YouTube site, no?
Yes,
Uh,
they can follow us
for
on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all those things. And we, I think actually we should be thankful to Dr. Gaurang because we have many, I think more than 300 videos has already been uploaded on our channel. So if someone who wants to learn real homeopathy and if he watches at least those videos, I think it's more than enough for them to become very passionate about homeopathy. They'll definitely get a lot to learn and it will help really in their practice.
yes, this happened with me because I followed almost all his videos.
Yes, yes.
So I am a very passionate student. And yes, they are very, very
So
useful.
we
So,
have two things like series. We have once in a week. We have started every Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We do it. Plus, other than that, I think every week he uploads 2 or 3 lectures other than the series. So whoever is interested in learning, they can go to the YouTube channel, the Homeopathic Hub. They can subscribe to that, and whenever any new video is uploaded, they will receive a notification. So I think.
thank you very much.
And
Would you
regarding
like to?
one more,
Yeah,
speaking of medicines, see, so
yeah.
recently we have been using a lot of LM potencies.
Mhm.
So we all, Dr. Sankaran, Dr. Sakar, Dr. Gaurang, myself, so we all have seen that in practice. Normal earlier we used to give centesimal and decimal potency, but recently we have seen in pathological cases especially, or in cases where we need to repeat the medicines very often, so we give this LM potencies. So that was also one of the thing where many of people they had this difficulty in getting this LM potencies, so we also have
Yes,
this LM
true.
potencies with us. So if someone needs any help with this, we can definitely help them with this LM
Mhm.
potencies.
Wonderful. Yes. Now I also indicate potencies, and that is true that not all of the remedies we have here in potencies. So I face this difficulty sometimes that I would indicate, but there is no possibility how to find the remedy in potency.
Yeah, so in homeopathy, we have I think more than 7,000 remedies in today's time. So it's practically impossible for any one of us to have all the remedies. So it's like
Yeah.
each one of us needs to help other. So if someone needs any medicine and if some other homeopath has it, I think it will be a good thing to support our colleagues. So that is how we can,
Collaborate.
yeah, we all as a homeopath can collaborate and we can help each other. If because ultimate goal is to help the patient, so if we can kind of become a medium in helping that, I think nothing
Correct,
great than that.
correct, and which I am very grateful to you and to all this series because it is also very important. I think that to teach the correct homeopathy or to be yes to master this the art of repertorization or things like that because it is very important what Dr. Gaurang teaches us that how to find the correct remedy. It was so interesting, for example, with this Sanicula case from last week that if I took another rubric that the remedy was totally else, so it is very easy to fail. And that is why I think that it is very, very important what he is doing to teach us the correct repertorization. And this is the key um, to success, um,
Yeah,
to
so
give the right remedy, and then we can have also
so
successes.
repertory and materia medica, they are the basic pillars of homeopathy. Organon also, so repertory, and organon, so these are basically the pillars of homeopathy. And if you want to do good in homeopathy, you will have to at least make 2 out of the 3 very strong. If you are 2 out of 3, if you are good in these 2 pillars, you will get
Mhm.
very good results. And see, basically some people we have in West Bengal, it's a part of India where people, they literally remember each and every line of Ellen's keynote, Borik's Materia Medica, and everything.
Keynote,
So
yeah.
that is, they are very strong with Materia Medica. So that is one way to practice homeopathy. So you can prescribe on keynotes and characteristic symptoms. But for us, it has been very difficult to remember all the symptoms in Materia Medica. So the way which we found very easy is to master the repertory every day. That's why we have been learning all those different repertory techniques, and Dr. Gaurang is coming up with a new book on different repertories. I think that will be one of the best book in the history of homeopathy, which will help all the students as well as practitioners of homeopathy to learn using all those different repertories, Kant, Bonninghausen, Fatak and all. I think it's something which we all should look forward to, and I think that is something which will help many doctors who are not able to get results in their practice because of they have not been very fortunate to learn all those things. I think this is something which will help a lot to them.
Yes, I'm sure. So I consider you the superpower in repertorization. I don't know any other school or where somebody can learn so much about repertorization like here from you, from Dr. Gaurang. And
Yeah, I have basically learned from this art of repertory. I have learned from Dr. Sankaran and Dr. Gaurang, seeing them using different repertories, seeing their cases. So once we see them, we learn them. We are also able to use them in our practice. So that is the idea behind that.
so, would you like to say something more? Maybe I don't know which question to put, but you can say it without question, please.
No, I think
If you would like to add something more or
yeah,
explain.
in a way, about the homeopathic hub, I think more or less the idea is, the name, as the name suggests, everything, it's a kind of a hub. Everything about homeopathy we want to bring it to one place. So we have started with something very small, but we are slowly thinking of eventually making it little bigger by involving different people, by involving different homeopaths from different countries, like we have you and some of our other colleagues from other parts of world. So
Gladly.
yeah, so we all have to somehow collaborate, and we have to take homeopathy to next level. So the idea is collaboration. So in whatever way, each and every homeopaths or people who are listening to us, I think it's the idea is to collaborate and help each other. So we need to work on that.
Yes, I can only congratulate you because I know that the most important is the intention. And if a person has good intention and the intention is to help others, I mean, the intention is it's not about himself, but it's about to help many people, then, as Paulo Coelho had said, that when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. So I wish you many more successes, and I really consider you leaders, and not only leaders, but as I said, the superpower, because you are already worldwide, and this what you are doing is absolutely, I think, uh, unparalleled. That to teach and to touch so many lives, so many homeopaths from all around the world. This is absolutely fantastic,
Thanks a lot.
and also to connect us, to make like a big family.
Yeah, it's
So yes,
we have the homeopathic hub, we it's a kind of a family, and we all are a part of that family. So yeah, it's
yes,
a family.
and it is such a nice feeling.
Same here, same here.
So,
So I think, yeah, I think it was great talking to you about the homeopathic hub, and thanks a lot for having us in this talk.
oh,
And it's
the pleasure
absolutely
was
pleasure.
mine.
Same here.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time, for uh, your disponibility that both of you take time for this today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Yeah. Okay.